Hello there.
I am the king!
What's up, Headless Horde? Special Tuesday live. I got some fire. I brought some fire with me today. Fire is in my hand. Wait till you see this. Listen, there's going to be spoilers, possible spoilers. Listen, nothing is for sure until we get to see this thing in about 2 hours. Dude, these rumors, I don't even know what to believe. I know what I want to happen, but I'll tell you what, these rumors are crazy. I got some videos to show you guys. I've kind of deep dived into this, and man, oh man, I don't know how I feel about some of it. I hope I'm wrong, but man, oh man, it kind of makes sense what they're doing. I don't know how this is not going to be a super long live. I just want to fire out these rumors. I want to get prepped for tonight's episode. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm going to bring on my co-host, Mr. Ryan Milky, new internet connection and all. What's up, brother?
All good, all good. Yeah, it's the same internet. I'm just plugged in now, so I don't have to worry about stress. But yeah, then I look up there and it goes to 2 bars, so I don't know what's going on, but we'll fix it. Should be better tonight anyway.
Well, it definitely sounds better than last time, and it definitely looks better. I can see the hair in your beard, so we're good to go here.
I hope you can see it. I've not been shaved for 2 years nearly.
Oh man, this background was fire until I saw what it looks like live. It was supposed to be the world between worlds. I'm gonna switch it up though. We'll just go to Ahsoka. So, all right. So Ryan, I don't know how long you've how much you've been, watching videos or just hearing about this stuff since last Thursday. But dude, this whole weekend, I mean, there's so many different rumors. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to start at is, so the big rumor I'm hearing is that tonight is going to be a bloodbath. Like, we're about to lose 4 characters. That's what I'm hearing. Thoughts?
So isn't there only 8 characters in the show?
Yeah, exactly.
How are we going to lose 4 characters?
So, dude, what I'm hearing is that Shin Hate is going to die, along with Ahsoka. Now, that doesn't mean Ahsoka's not going to be in the series. Okay, so stay with me. Stay with me. Let's think back. Now, if you guys are with us on this whole journey, okay, this whole journey between the Clone Wars and all the way through Rebels. If you remember back in Clone Wars when we did the Mortis arc, remember who died in that episode during that arc? It was Ahsoka. And she ended up coming back.
Yeah.
Coming back because of the daughter, right? The daughter sacrificed herself for Ahsoka's life.
The essence of the mother. Yeah,
there you go.
Of the daughter was given to her.
So the essence of the daughter is still in Ahsoka. So do not be shocked tonight if we see Ahsoka Tano die at the end of this episode. That's what I'm hearing. Crazy. I don't want to believe it myself because I think it's bringing in so much of this weird Star Wars stuff that you really do have to watch Clone Wars and Rebels. But again, think about the first 2 episodes. we were right around that 7.5, 8, and we thought that it was a good start, but it really did try to fill in the gaps for people who have never watched these shows. What I'm hearing is that the second half of the season, there's going to be a small time jump, and this is when Thrawn's going to be in it. This is when we're going to see Anakin and all of this crazy stuff. And I guess the World Between Worlds is going to be in here. And I'm trying to think of how are they going to bring, okay, not even how, why are they going to bring in the World Between Worlds? Because I think someone's going to go back and save Ahsoka again after tonight. That's what I'm thinking. And I think that's where Ezra comes into play. I'm also hearing that Sabine's dying tonight. Believe it or not. So the four that are going to supposedly perish is Sabine, Ahsoka, Shin Hati, and then Merrick. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know, man. It's crazy out there.
No way.
I have my own. I have a new
dog food or taking some street drugs or something. I'm telling you, that's not happening.
Now here's my new Merrick theory. I went back and rewatched the Tales of the Jedi. We did a breakdown on this like almost a year ago, probably. So I have a clip. I don't know how much I can get away with playing here. I'm probably not gonna play it with the volume because I don't want to get copyrighted or get kicked off of here because it's about a 20-second clip. So I'm gonna try to play it and then I'm gonna explain. So we've been talking about Merrick being possibly Ezra. We've been talking about Merrick being possibly I always want to say Savage Opress. Varys Offee. We've been talking about him being possibly Asajj Ventress, and then we've also talked about him being possibly Starkiller. Let's watch this clip and tell me what you think. And remember, Dave Filoni directed or created Tales of the Jedi. Watch this. Here we go. Again, I'm gonna try to play it without the sound, just not to get copyrighted. Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all the way tonight. Here we go.
Looks like I shall be rewarded.
Yeah, she kills
Remember
this
this?
guy without even having sabers.
This is an Inquisitor that she fights.
She doesn't even have a saber and she still kills him.
All right. Thoughts? Is this Inquisitor Smoke? Not Snoke, Smoke. Created by the Night Sisters. Dude, I'm feeling it. I think this is what they're doing.
I have no idea. I'm guessing if you have these questions, then you clearly have been digging because, yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, it makes sense that there was no person in the body, was there? He just turned and disappeared as if there was no one there. So it was like it was magic.
Yeah, it was magic.
You are right.
It basically was magic. And that's what I'm starting to think because, everyone's throwing out these big names. Dude, it's Dave Filoni loves to bring his own characters back into his, projects and stuff. And I seriously think this is the route they're going. Everyone's got a theory. And what's going to happen is he's going to go back to this, that he created, what 10 months ago or so. And yeah, it's kind of far out there, but it makes sense with them bringing the Night Sisters in this. He was just created by the Night Sisters, I guess. I mean, hopefully we find a little more information in this dude just dying because I think he's done. I think he's dead. I think he's going to be dead after this. It's kind of crazy. I'm glad I kind of rewatched it. And I'm like watching that episode, and I'm like, wait, who is this guy again? And then she kills him, and I'm like, what? He's like Smoke. Craziness, man.
So you'll go down the lines of Marok is going to be Smoke, and Marok hasn't got somebody in the inside.
Yeah, I do.
That's a big jump from maybe it being Sam Whitaker and Starkiller and all that.
Yeah, kind of crazy when you think about it. I don't know. I mean, it's super interesting when you watch that. You're like, wait, well, who is this guy? And I'm trying to think. So that was back before. That was right after. Okay, so because Tales of the Jedi, we see what happens with Anakin, and right before he turns. So this is kind of like right in that same area. This is kind of how they're explaining her before she comes back. Or actually, maybe this is when. I would have to go back and rewatch it because I watched this over the weekend and now I can't remember. I watched all of them so quickly.
Yeah, later plays.
Now I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna kind of fast through the episode while I'm watching. Because now I'm trying to remember. Is this before? I think this takes place after Clone Wars. Yeah, it does. Yeah, okay, right there. Because it just basically tells the story of Ahsoka and then Dooku. That's basically what it hones in on. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy, dude. It's I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big bomb to drop. I didn't think you were going to drop that kind of bomb.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So what I'm thinking is
right, like it makes complete sense.
It does, and I guess my thought is, if that happens tonight, what do you think the people are going to say? How do you think people are going to react? We've had all these theories with those other 4 or 5 characters. Do you think people are going to be pissed? Are you going to be pissed?
No, if Sabine dies, I'll be happy. If Sabine dies, I'll be happy because it's been the Sabine show for 3.5 episodes, and I don't like it. The show's called Ahsoka, not Sabine. So in that sense, if Sabine dies, fair enough. But
yeah,
you can't kill all of those. Like Shin Hati, no. I need to know who she is. I need to know why she is. I need to know where she came from and how she's connected to Balon. They need to explain that.
Yeah.
And now, with Balon, with the actor of Balon passing away, sadly, before the show came out, they can't kill Shin Hati now, because how do they move forward with the duo of these two next season? You can't.
I'm going to try to find this video really quick.
That would be wild for sure. Exactly, Chase.
Let's see if I can find it for you guys.
Thanks Disney as well, because I've been doing a YouTube show every Tuesday at 8 p.m. called The Horseman, and Disney decided to go drop Ahsoka at the same time. Like, do they not understand that there's things going on?
I'm for one glad they switched it, because I hated trying to stay up for that. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can find.
Yeah, I know. I'm only joking.
You guys. No, I know, dude. I don't know if this is the right one. There's so many out there. I should have saved what I want. See, this was definitely not the clip. It's so fast, like it's really, really fast. The clip, but it's very interesting. This is not the one. I mean.
So while Headless is looking for that, you guys in the chat, I want to know what you're thinking about the show so far. You give me a rating.
All I know is that tonight is going to be a ton of lightsabers, so just get ready for it, because this is so. What I'm hearing, except for the couple scenes that were real quick with Thrawn, is that pretty much the rest of the clips in all these trailers was from the first 4 episodes.
Trailers.
Yeah.
Correct.
See, now this is a fake one though.
Yeah, we just need Thrawn turning around with that long panning shot towards it.
Yeah. I'm just kind of
100% on fire, loving it.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I'm digging it. I like it a lot. So this is actually the little trailer from today, but this doesn't show me what I want to show. So it looks like Hugh Wang actually gets in a little action today from that trailer. We can actually watch that in a second, but I'm trying to really find the one I wanted to show you guys that kind of shows with the Shin Hati part. I'm gonna look at the 2 more because I don't want to sit here and just do this, but yeah, I see this is the same thing as the other one.
Quick Draw says that the show is entertaining, nothing to write home about. Yeah, they haven't done anything to blow us away yet.
You mean in the show?
Well, Quickdraw's saying that the show is entertaining, but nothing to write home about.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I do think that tonight, um, I think tonight's gonna blow you guys away. I really do. I mean, unless everything I'm hearing is 100% wrong, which I can't believe
Because
that.
I heard 5 was going to blow the internet. I heard episode
Yeah,
5 was
well,
going to break the internet.
yeah, and yeah, remember episode 5 is also that's Dave Filoni directing it as well. I really wish I could find this clip, but I'm having a heck of a time. I'm gonna do one more search and try it. All right, one more try here.
No worries.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know why I didn't save this when I first saw it, and I'm like, oh no, it'll be easy to find. And of course, now I can't sit here and find it. I actually wonder if it's been pulled because this was from the original. This was from the Disney YouTube channel. So I wonder if they caught it and they kind of got rid of it. Because I'm definitely not seeing what I saw this weekend. I mean, I can just explain it, I guess. But basically, what happens is they show. That's not it. They're basically in the clip, and this was on StarWars.com and on the YouTube channel. And I can check StarWars.com actually real quick and see if it's still there. But they show Ahsoka's white saber go like through Shinhati, and obviously that's what it looks like when you slow it down and you go frame by frame. Now, granted, it could be something, it could just be bad editing maybe, but it definitely shows it, and I just can't find it. So that's where that rumor.
I don't
comes
think that
from.
means she's dead because Sabine got stabbed at the end of the first one, and she's alive.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I
got
mean, it
stabbed
depends.
times, and she's alive. So, I don't think she'll die.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and the other thing to talk about a little bit is where is Jason Solo and all, or not Jason? Oh my God, I'm going like Legends now. Jason Solo. That was so. If you didn't know, that was actually what Leia and Leia named their first son was Jason, and they ended up using Jason as Sedula. So that's a little tidbit there for the Legends. So Jason Sedula. I wonder how much more we're going to get of this character. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be interesting to see if we get more of him, or is that's more like a cameo and he'll come back in something different, or you know what I'm saying? I'm really curious to see if we're actually going to get that character.
I think he has just been. I think he's just been introduced to be the footnote of the show. Like, I can envisage him being on the ship with his mother and Chopper and flying off and into the happiness, and maybe she goes. He learns to be a Jedi. I think it'll end with a shot of him as the future of the Rebels. Good point.
See, it's interesting because and this is the biggest problem with the sequels is that we didn't get any of these characters in that. Like, we don't get Grogu, which obviously he wasn't even created yet. We don't get Jason, who actually was created already, but we don't get to see him. And originally, Ben was the others. I think wasn't it Ben and or no, it was Jaina. It was Jaina. I think it was Ben. Was it Ben Skywalker? I think it was Ben Skywalker. I think it was Mara Jade and Luke's son. So they've already switched it around so much with these names. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure it was Ben Skywalker in Legends. And then it was Jason and Jane. I think it was Jaina. Jania. Is that how you say that? Jaina? I think it's Jaina. But I mean, again, we're going back in Legends back in in the early 90s and stuff when that stuff came out. And it just sucks because they've used some of the names already, so it's like it can never be what we all knew it to be back then. But there. So let's see.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Brandon said, in one scene you see Shin like, yeah, there it is again. Yep. In the background while Baylan is but there's man, I wish I could find that. I wish I could find that clip. There's definitely a scene where you see the white lightsaber go into Shin, and again, it's so quick you have to slow it down because, like I said, it's only 18 frames. I'm gonna go to StarWars.com real quick and just see. Like I said, they may have pulled this when they noticed what the heck happened. I mean, it's definitely possible. Let's see. So this is the droid fight, which I've seen. Man, I don't think it's there anymore. I really don't. I think they took it because the only thing I'm seeing for this episode is the droid fight, and I know it's not in that clip. I mean, we can watch it really quick. I mean, it's a neat little scene. It's a little bit fun.
Sure.
Nothing.
I have no idea. I
Great.
haven't looked.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing great, but yeah, let's see. Star Wars. Let's go right here and do it. So this is the clip for today.
A death droid made it worse.
He wouldn't.
Yeah, see, Shin's not even in this clip. I feel like when she used the Force, it was a little cheesy. Did you see that? I'll go back.
Well, that will set me back a bit.
You know, we talked about who voiced him, right?
A death.
We talked about who voiced him, right? Do you know who that is? Young?
Yeah, it's David Tennant.
Yeah. So, tell me what you think about this. Right here, this part right here. Dude, it looks so cheesy the way they bring him into the screen. Like, one of my big problems with this clip is I've watched this clip like 10 times.
Yeah.
Why can't they just have the widescreen fighting? Like, why do we have to do this? Like, you see, they want the close up, but like right here, you see how she's grabbing him, and then all of a sudden
she's using the Force.
Right, but look how cheesy it looks when it comes in the screen. I don't like it. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't it look a little cheesy? Like, I think it's cool here.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, it's just the way she brings them in the. I don't know. I mean, it's minor, I guess, but I don't know. To me, it looks a little bit. I noticed that earlier. I'm like, wow, it looks a little weird. Like, why not just keep the frame wide and let her just do it? But I don't know. I mean, maybe that's the difference between a television series.
Transition scene, didn't they?
Yeah. Sometimes I wish like like in the Dark Knight trilogy, I had some issues with the fighting in that movie, in actually all the movies. Just it was always like so like flashing back and forth, and like, can we just get like a bigger shot and let me just see the action? Like, I don't know why they think they always have to do that shaky cam thing. It drives me nuts, man. I would rather just see the action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dan says it looks the
Yeah,
same
no, I
when
get
you use
it.
the Force to figure the troopers. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. You know, for a multi-million-dollar company or billion-dollar company, wherever they are, I just feel like some of the editing I found weird. I know. I mean, we talked about some of the fighting in I think it was episode 1. It seemed a little slow. And again, it may be because it's the prosthetics that she wears, but it just doesn't look as smooth as it did in Mandalorian. But anyways, I know I'm not here to nitpick. You know, I'm still enjoying the series. There's just some small things. You know, we'll break this episode down on Thursday, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, those are some of the rumors. A couple other things that I have heard. For the world between worlds, I guess they're bringing it back, and this is how she's going to talk to Anakin. Here's my question for you, Ryan. Okay, so we're going back to the world between worlds, which is supposed to be a portal, if you will, that links all time and space. So you can basically go back and see anything you want. So we saw Ezra, go in. We saw him pull out Ahsoka and save her life. Remember, Palpatine was then after them. Palpatine was not able to enter. So I want to get a little explanation of why. Like, why can only certain people enter? And then number 2 is, what would happen if Ezra and Ahsoka go and they pulled out Anakin before he turned to Vader? Then what would happen? That's what I want to know. What do you think?
Very good question. Is that the point where where would you pull him out though? Where would you pull him?
Well, why would you pull out
in the prequel? Because that's when he's turning. Where would you pull him out to save him?
Where would you? I mean, you probably would pull him out. I mean, possibly, maybe before, he goes
right after the Darth Plagueis conversation.
I would even say probably in episode 2. I would say before he goes and attacks those the Sand People to save his mom. Because I feel like that's the first big part of his turn is when he kills all the Sand People, and he goes, not even just the men, all the women and children too. I feel like that's his first big move toward the dark side.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing that question out there. It'll be really, really interesting.
Yeah, good question. Good.
Because I mean, again, like if he's able to go save Ahsoka like he did, so what tells us that we can't change, everything? Now, I think he's gonna do that? I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think that's what he wants to do. They've already, we've had tons and tons of talks about retconning the sequels because it's so bad. And they could do it if they really wanted to, but I don't know. It's just an interesting conversation, what would happen.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that
we are going to get Disney as well. So Vader could have thrown the Emperor down that shaft, and then as the Emperor's falling down the shaft, that Ezra could have opened a portal, and that's how Palpatine returned. Ezra could be the reason that Palpatine returned. He could have saved Palpatine when he was falling down that shaft.
That'd be interesting. I smell a Star Wars version of Endgame coming in the multiverse. Yeah, so this is not a rumor that I've heard. This is just what I'm thinking. So here's what I'm thinking. So last Thursday I said I don't think we're gonna see the world between worlds. So from everything I'm hearing, we're going to see it at some point. And I think it does make sense if these deaths are going to occur, even if it's not all 4, even if we get a couple, I feel like the only way the show can continue is by doing this. And I guess it would have to be Ezra at that point, to go back and save Ahsoka, unless there is that essence of the daughter in her that allows her to survive whatever happens. Maybe it's Morgan. Maybe she uses some type of Night Sister magic on her, and somehow the daughter essence saved her. Whatever happens there. I mean, like if Ahsoka dies, she's not going to stay dead. Like we know that, okay? Just like we kind of knew Sabine was not going to die at the end of episode 1. It didn't make sense. But let's just we'll just say Ahsoka dies at the end. So we have to go through the world between our worlds because I feel like that's the only reason why we're going there. Like I don't understand what other reason why we would go there. Unless Balon and Shin know about this place and they know there's power there to be had, and maybe that's why they want to go find Thrawn, because they're really trying to find Ezra to somehow get him to go. Oh, and I have another theory about Balon and Shin, and actually this theory came from I think it was Star Wars Theory. I don't know if you watched this video about the wolves. Did you watch that video? That was an interesting theory.
No.
We can talk about it before we get out of here. It's interesting. It's kind of far fetched though, but it is interesting because Theory did a lot of research on those names. But anyways, going back to the world between worlds, I think that if something happens with the World Between Worlds, I think something's going to happen where it's going to close down and that's it. Like you won't be able to get there anymore for some reason.
Implode.
Yeah, because I think too much can change with it. So I think it's because Dave Filoni created it. I think he's going to close it somehow. So that's what I'm thinking. That is not a rumor. I have no information on that. That is just something that I keep thinking about. If they are going to bring it in, I think they're going to close it. So Theory did a deep dive.
Smart way for Dave Filoni to do it.
Right, exactly. Because I feel like with that being left open, people are always going to wonder, like, can we just get rid of the sequels and like kind of start over, you know? And, you know, I know Disney has come out and Kathleen Kennedy's come out saying that they're not retconning anything. I just think that at some point they have to do something with this. And I don't know how that's going to close. I just feel like that's something that could happen in the series. So Theory did research on Balon and Shin, okay, on their names. So I don't have the exact wordage, you know, in front of me, but like something like this. He said Merrick has something. The name Merrick, when you look it up, it has something to do with the Knights of, you know, the Knights of the Round Table with King Arthur, and the character or the name Merrick has to do with his wife. I don't know exactly what it was, but it's something that he turns into like a werewolf, this Merrick guy. Okay. So that's kind of what the name goes with. And then Balon's skull. So the last name Skull means something having to do with a light wolf, something with like a light wolf. So if you go back and look at that mural from Rebels, there's the dark wolf and the light wolf. So his theory is that the entire time in Rebels, that Balon was this white wolf that was kind of helping him. And then there was the dark wolf, and that is what Hati means, is something having to do with the dark side of the wolf. And that's why there's a white wolf and a dark wolf. It's very, very far-fetched, but it's very interesting. You know, he did all that. I don't know. What do you think? It's weird.
Yeah.
It would be really weird.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting if it goes that far back.
Yeah.
I would have to go back and watch Rebels and Clone Wars all over again.
Yeah. I mean, it's really strange. I don't know. It's interesting. There's a lot. I mean, I'm just trying to think at the top of my head, like what else? Like everything I've written down, I went over, but I know there's even more out there. You know, obviously the Starkiller stuff. We talked about that, but it's kind of crazy. Yeah, and yeah, there you go. Yep, there you go.
Norse mythology.
Yep. So I don't know. I just want to think this was like I had thought of all this this afternoon. I'm like, you know what? I gotta go do a live because I just want to talk about it with you and kind of see. And you know, I was hoping that I didn't know when you were gonna get the new setup going. So it's definitely better than when it was last week. So that's good. But yeah, I just thought it was really really interesting. And then I started thinking about the World Between Worlds a little bit. So I just feel like you can't leave this place open. Like there's I don't know how it's gonna happen, but somehow it's gonna just go away at some point. I don't know. Maybe Palpatine will return.
I think it's really interesting though, because you know, if the rumor is to be believed, and you know Kathleen Kennedy's days are numbered when it comes to Star Wars, Dave Filoni opens up this Easter egg and then closes it, and all the fans go crazy for it. It's only going to solidify his place as being her replacement. You know?
Yeah.
Because he's the one that holds the keys to the kingdom of this imploded World Between Worlds that everybody is going crazy for. And then that's where they go forward, maybe. Or hopefully.
You know, and he's come out and said it's not really time travel. It's just a place between time and space where you can see
another dimension.
Right. Another dimension, you can see what has already happened. Right. Yeah, and you know, a couple of other small things. I've definitely heard that Sabine is not force sensitive, but again, I think when they get to this other galaxy, I think that's when her powers will really be honed in. I'm really curious. Like we all know we're getting Shin Hati versus Sabine round 2 tonight. Like I know that's gonna happen. It's in the trailers. Like we know it's coming. I'm really curious. What I want to see is I want to see her use her. Think about when she was fighting Kanan with the Darksaber. I want to see her use her Mandalorian gear and fight her, not just like try to just outduel her.
And it looked like she was in the trailer. She was blasting bullets with the Beskar armor, so she was blocking bullets.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see the grappling hook. I want to see the flame. I want to see all these different things that a Mandalorian, offers. So that's what I'm really hoping to see, because I thought that was a pretty cool scene in Rebels when she was fighting Kanan like a Mandalorian that knows how to wield a lightsaber, good enough, I guess. But I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm excited for tonight. We're what 80 minutes away. I know you guys have Horsemen tonight. I'll hop in the chat then, definitely before when it's over. But yeah, I've been waiting all day for this. I've been all weekend. Yeah, no, I won't show any spoilers. So, but yeah, I don't know. Anything else that you have? Any chat? If you guys have any questions or anything, this is. I originally put on this. You guys can ask me a ton of questions about anything that I have talked about. Definitely throw a question in the chat if you want me to answer anything. I know Ryan needs to get out of here in about 7 or 8 minutes, so we'll go maybe a few more minutes if anybody has questions or just make a general comment. And Ryan, that goes to you too. If you have any questions or anything anything you've heard maybe, or if not, we can call it a night. But
what time do you make it? Because I only make it. I don't know if our clocks went back, because I make it midnight. So for me, it looks like I've got 90 minutes left till I go Horseman Live.
You have 80 minutes. So.
I don't need to jump out, then I've got another 10-15 minutes. If anyone's got any questions.
That's all good. Like I said, originally I had planned this to go like 30-45 minutes, somewhere in that range. I just didn't know if the chat had any questions or anything. What I can do really quick actually is we can set up a quick poll and maybe see what people are thinking about all these possible deaths. Let's see.
Chase is saying that he was saying the same thing. She went on ninja. We went all ninja on her, and she got her ass kicked. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put if someone.
It's funny. I think I saw Star Wars fans were comparing skeleton bones from where Qui-Gon Jinn got stabbed in the back to where Sabine got stabbed, and they were like, Qui-Gon Jinn's was in the spine, and that's why he was dead, and hers wasn't in the spine. I was like, oh my god, Star Wars fans are crazy.
Well,
skeleton, like how it looks.
So, I mean, there's definitely a bunch of things. People came out and said, "Well, this is why Qui-Gon died." I mean, there was no medical attention right away. Plus, he got stabbed, and Obi-Wan still had to kind of finish off Maul, and there was just no time because he technically was still alive, I guess, when Obi-Wan got over there. So maybe if there was a medical, whatever, ready for him, because I mean, Sabine was dead, and she took her right over there. What is it? A 5-minute flight, 10-minute flight. I mean, we don't really know, how far they actually ran into that. Space. Yeah, medical. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, who knows? There's difference. I mean, just think about it, dude. Like when you see people get hurt on the streets, like with knife stabs or whatever, like what happens? Sometimes people die off a stab wound. Sometimes people get stabbed 30 times and they survive. It's all about the placement, like you said. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Jar Jar. Umpty says, can't wait for Jar Jar in episode 4.
Oh, dude, that's one other rumor. I don't know, man. This one's a little far fetched. So, what about if this would bring in the Darth Jar Jar? Right, we're going back to Darth Jar Jar just for Umpty. What if Merritt is Quinlan Voss? Or no, that's not it. Wait, not Quinlan Voss. I'm saying the wrong name.
Ahmed Best.
Yes, Ahmed Best's character, the Jedi. What was his name again? It's not Quinlan Voss. It's
I don't remember.
All right, hold on, man. Let me look it up. I mean, he was in like a
Umpty will know. He's in the chat. Umpty, what's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
He saves Grogu in the lift.
Keller
was it
and
Jar Jar in
Bach.
Rebels or was it Clone Wars?
Yeah, it's Keller and Beck. That's who it is.
Keller and Bach, yeah.
Keller and Beck, yeah.
I don't believe he was in Rebels. I don't know if he was in Clone Wars. He might have been.
Jar Jar? No, Jar Jar was in Clone Wars. We just skipped a lot of those episodes. No, Jar Jar was definitely in Clone Wars. He was not in Rebels though. So Keller and Beck. Well, how would you feel about Keller and Beck becoming Merrick, and that would almost bring back kind of a sort of a Darth Jar Jar into a way? But the reason why is okay. So if Keller and Beck rescues Grogu, what's the reason why that he would be either joining the dark side as an Inquisitor or faking it as an Inquisitor? If he's like, that's the problem with that theory is I can't think of it either way of why would he do it unless it's just to survive. But why would he go around killing people? And why would he kill Sabine or try to kill Sabine?
I guess that was continuation of that story from that perspective.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
did we see the continuation of the story with him and Grogu? I don't think we did we?
No, we see him kind of ride off with them, and that's basically it. So, but like again, like what's the reasoning for him to be hidden if he's still a Jedi? What's the point of him being hidden as an Inquisitor? And then on the other end, if he has turned bad, why did he rescue Grogu? And why is he all of a sudden against the Jedi? I don't know.
It's just safe.
I mean, Grogu at this time frame, we have no idea where he is.
Walking around the Palpatine's office, going yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just another interesting thing to kind of talk about that I kind of saw out there. So, but what is that? Umpty says, oh yeah, okay. So when he filmed, they throw off the people and comes back as Jar Jar. Yeah, I doubt it, but unless we find out that Jar Jar was always Keller and Beck in like a disguise, which I doubt they would ever do that. But yeah, easy to manipulate. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting and fun.
One day he'll come back, Umzi. One day.
Yeah, here's the thing too. Like, when we broke down Mandalorian season 3, there was a few things we talked about, but at least this, man, at least they're giving us some stuff to talk about. It may end up all being nothing. Like I said, it may just end up being that this dude is smoke, and they took it right from Tales of the Jedi, and he dies, and that's it. We never hear from this guy again. We don't know anything about him. We assume that it's just created from the Night Sisters, but it's at least fun to talk about. I just feel like in Mando season 3, man, I just didn't have fun with those episodes at all. There was a couple, and that was it. At least these were good episodes and fun, and yeah, I mean maybe Ahsoka's a little stiff, but again, she's also 44, 45. She's not a 16-year-old kid anymore. So it's going to be a different character. And I think that's what a lot of people complain about is, oh, she's not that peppy little, girl, I guess. But I mean, we're all still probably immature as far as our ages go. Because I know I'm a lot more immature at my age than my dad ever was. But I'm still not the same goofball that I was when I was 15, 16 years old,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends who you ask.
Yeah. Do you ever watch that video on the Darth Jar Jar? It's so good. It makes you really, really believe that's what happened. It's a really good video. I have to look it up, and maybe I could throw up on Patreon for you. It's a really interesting video. It's a long one though. It's like an hour long, but the dude just deep dives into it. It's great. It's a fun little video to watch. I've watched it a couple times actually. It's a good one though. So, but I don't know, Brian. Any predictions other than what I've talked about? Do you think it's going to happen tonight? Well, I know you talked about the ring, the hyperdrive ring. So what do you think is going in there? Do you think it's going to be one of the Purgle, or do you think it's going to be a ship, or what do you think?
I think they're going to harness the Purgle to go through that ring to go to the place where Thrawn went with Ezra. But then I don't know how they introduced the world between worlds, because I was assuming that ring was going to take them into the world between worlds, but that's not how it works. So I don't know. I really don't know. I genuinely don't think we're losing 4 people though. I think that
it's
the
tough to
rumor
swallow.
mill has gone crazy, and I genuinely don't think we're losing people. Yeah, we'll see. I have literally high expectations, high anticipation, and yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait. They're gonna milk it like a dairy cow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I just we got the first 3 episodes, and I think it set up where we're going. Now I feel like we need to see some fire though. We need to see something. We need something big, and I really, really hope that we're getting this. I hope that
I need Thrawn or Ezra in this episode.
See, I don't know if we're gonna get it. If we do, maybe it's at the very end. I just don't know if we're gonna get it this episode. I really think that I think they're saving Ezra and Thrawn for when we actually get into the next galaxy. I mean, right now, you can see it from the clip that they're obviously on that planet and they're going to be fighting. And then it's going to be what happens after the fight, who's going to survive, and then how are we getting to the galaxy? And obviously, they're going to be using that device they've been creating. I mean, they have to.
Yeah,
that's a good point, Umpty. Yep. Chase says my consensus is so far that's going to milk it right up to the last episode, which will be the best. Yeah, and what really stinks about all this is that with the strike going on, man, I don't know when next time we're going to get Star Wars content. Heck, we're dying for some Game of Thrones stuff. I think that's still all good to go as far as House of Dragon season 2. I'm still kind of predicting that's going to come out next summer. But it's just I don't know when we're going to get Star Wars content again with this strike. I can't believe this thing's been going on for almost 4 months. It's nuts. Or not? Well, I guess not 4 months, but the writer strike has been about 4 months. Because
I think it's going to go on until past Christmas.
You think so? Because Marvel already redid all of theirs. Now they're talking Skeleton Crew. Probably won't even come out until next fall, and that was supposed to maybe come out in December. So it kind of stinks.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark. So I tried to watch the first episode yesterday, didn't finish it. It seems a little slow to me. So, Mark, did you watch Rebels? Because basically, if you watch Rebels and you know the characters, I don't want to really say much unless you haven't. If you didn't watch Rebels, then you probably need to watch it, I guess, to at least know who some of these characters are. I don't know if you watched it. Yeah, I'll wait for him to respond. But let me check the poll.
No, just Mando.
So you didn't watch any of that. It's tough because I feel like people who did not watch Rebels don't care for the show. And I feel like people who did watch Rebels are enjoying it. I think that we are just that part of the fandom is a little annoyed just because we already know the characters and we don't need any more. And I think my biggest problem, Ryan, is my biggest problem is that I don't like how that argument between Sabine and Ahsoka was completely off screen. We didn't even get to see any of it. Now, maybe we go back and see a scene in the World Between Worlds, which I would be game for. But I think that was the thing. Because, at the end of Rebels, when we see what happens, it's kind of because now that we found out that End of Rebels is actually not even like it's in between episodes. It's like, episode 1 and 2 for the most part take place before that, and like we don't ever see that argument or that fight or the disagreement that they had. I think that's the most annoying part for me in the whole series, is that we just never got to see it.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that when Sabine turns her back on Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And she does it to her. Then we should see that scene.
Yeah, I mean that this is why I told my neighbor when he saw the Ahsoka series coming out, and he knew about her because of Mando, but he didn't watch any of the Clone Wars, he didn't watch any of Rebels, and I did. I told him, I'm like, I would recommend watching both. I'm like, but if you have to pick one, I can tell you the backstory of Ahsoka, and you can go right into Rebels. So I kind of told him about Anakin and Ahsoka and their relationship and everything that kind of happened with the Jedi Order with Ahsoka. And eventually, what happened, and then he kind of went in and watched Rebels, and they seem to be enjoying it. Again, I think he also agrees with what Mark had said. I think he thinks it's a little bit slow, but I think it's also because we already know the characters. We didn't need to see we didn't need to see Sabine, with the rock and roll music going down, through Lothal, and like we already knew that she was kind of already like a like a rebel, lack of better words, and again, but I think he had to do something for the general crowd that didn't watch it. Like he wanted to try to do that. So I don't know. I mean, it's, I agree though. I think it's worth watching Rebels. If you don't want to watch all of it, if you check out my video I dropped, now it's been like a few months, but it's at least only, I don't know, Ryan, what was it, like 33 episodes out of it was like
33 episodes.
I think it was 33 episodes out of what, 50 something, I think it ended up being
68.
So 68. There you go. So yeah, it's less than half, but you get the general story of who the Rebels are. You get the Ahsoka stuff. There's a few episodes you do definitely miss that are really good, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth watching it though. Umpty. I think Sabine finds Ezra and spins off in the skeleton.
You're addicted, Umpty. Love it.
I don't know. I don't know. Jude Law's in that, I know. I heard Ahsoka might be in it, but it might be more like a cameo type deal, just to kind of link everything together. I also heard Mando might be in Skeleton Crew, but again, it's more like a cameo to kind of link it all in the same, universe. I guess, what, Ryan, what I'm really curious on is, we know we're going to this other galaxy, right? I wonder are we finishing this season back in the galaxy we know, or are they stuck? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if they are going to have Ahsoka be a cameo in Skeleton Crew, how are they not coming back then? I don't know. One other thing too. I wanted to show
you. When's Skeleton Crew set?
I don't really know. I think maybe it's like kind of like the same time frame as all this other stuff's going on. I want to show you one thing. Let me find an image of this. Yeah, we're probably going to get out of here in about 5 or 10 minutes. I've been a lot longer than I ever would have thought I was, but I do want to show this. So I'm gonna pull up a couple images really quick. Again, if you have any questions about anything we talked about, please go ahead and answer the question on the poll really quick too, because I want to see that before we get out of here. So I'm gonna call this one. And here's another little piece of evidence that why I kind of feel that Ahsoka might die. And Ryan, I'm gonna pick your brain on this, because I'm gonna go into another series that I know you're a huge fan of, and I want to see what you say about this, because I'm not exactly sure. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Picture. Um, just give me one
5 action
moment.
rebels. Let's go. That would be cool if it was all of them. If it was, Hera flying the ship with Zeb. Like, I need to see Zeb, man. Why did you introduce me to the blue furry dude in live action if we're not going to have him in the show?
Right. Okay, so I actually have. So this actually is not what I was looking for, but I think I can use it. Let me just get the image though. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of I don't know what's going to exactly look like because then it's not the greatest quality image, but I'm going to pull it up and see. All right, let's see if I can pull this up now really quick. All right, so another part of my theory is I'm going to have to open the image first. So this is one of the reasons why I think that we are possibly going to see Ahsoka die. And I can see right now the votes. Shin Hati is definitely the high end right now that people think that she's going to die. That's actually really interesting because I think she's one of the better characters, So I find that kind of interesting.
She better not die.
I know, right? All right. So first image. There we go. I got what I want now. All right, so I'm going to open this up. Yeah, the image is not the greatest, but I think you guys will see see what I'm trying to talk about here. All right, so at the end of Rebels, this is what we see. Now, if you think back to episode 2, we get this image of Ahsoka, but it's a little bit different. So this is what it looks like in Rebels. Okay. So remember, she's dressed in white. She has the staff there. Okay. So that's at the end of Rebels. This is not what we see. Yeah. This is not what we see in episode 2. So in episode 2, what we end up getting.
No, it's a different scene.
Yep. So what we end up getting is this. And this actually has both of them back to kind of side by side so you can really see it. So look at the difference. So this is definitely more grade. She definitely is not holding this. Okay. And so what I'm thinking is if we think back to when Orion. Yep. If we think back to one of your favorite series, Lord of the Rings, Gandalf dies and he comes back, right? He's kind of like all like new and what do they call him? Gandalf the White. Is that what they call him in the Two Towers?
He comes back as Gandalf the White, but he was Gandalf the Grey.
Correct. So in that lore, in Tolkien's work, how does he actually come back to life?
By killing the Balrog and giving his soul to the good side, to becoming pure good and not dark. And that's why he was the Lord of Light.
Okay, so if Ahsoka dies, maybe this is why this was shot at scene, in the second season, or I'm sorry, second episode. Maybe when she dies, and then we get almost like a retake, or like a new story, like a new what's the word I'm looking for? A new not a retake, but like a new
perspective.
Not yeah, maybe I don't want to talk like multiverse. That's not what I'm trying to get at. But I'm just saying, like, maybe we kind of reset and we get back to that original Ahsoka, the white with the staff, and maybe that's kind of where this. I think this is the scene that we end the season with, and everything that we get, we all these people die. They end up getting to Ezra. They end up getting Thrawn back, but it kind of gets reset because of Ahsoka, because she does have that essence of the daughter in, and because of this world between worlds. And then this is how season 1 ends, and then we go from there with kind of everything almost reset. Again, you got to think about it. There's a lot of information there, but no one actually will be dead. But we will have Ezra and Thrawn back in our galaxy, and then this is what. So somehow with Ahsoka's death, she's able to do it, and then this is how it ends. I have a funny feeling that's the end of Ahsoka season 1. I really do. Yep, exactly, Chase. Yeah, there's a lot. What'd you say? What was that, Ryan?
I definitely get behind that theory. That's a good one.
It's crazy. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I know it's a lot, and it's a lot to think about. But I'll tell you what, man, we're less than an hour away. I'm pumped. You guys should delay Horseman for 45 minutes. I think
do
this
Horseman watch along. Ahsoka watch along with the Horseman.
Ahsoka watch on. There you go. Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolutely crazy episode. I'm really excited for this. So, all right. Yeah, this is way longer than I ever thought it would be. Just sitting here rambling around about Ahsoka and all these crazy ass theories. So, is there supposed to be more Ahsoka after this? I believe so. I mean, the original idea I thought was to go to Mando season or Skeleton Crew. The Acolyte I think was kind of by itself. And then we have, and then it would have been going to Mando season 4, and then Ahsoka season 2, and then I think the movie was, originally it was supposed to come out in 2026. Everything is obviously going to be delayed 6 months to a year at this point, but I think that's what the original plan was. I'm gonna watch as soon as it drops. Oh, you mean Ahsoka at 9:00? Yeah, 56 minutes. I'm counting down the minutes at this point. So, I don't know. Anything else for the good of the order there, Ryan? Any other questions or anything you got?
No. But, I actually wanted to say, I noticed that some of the hardcore Star Wars fans are annoyed that this seems to be giving the general aspect that anybody can be Force sensitive, right? And people
well, I mean, that's...
that.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here thinking... Star Wars' tagline is "The Force will always be with you." That's a tagline that's been with Star Wars since day one.
Yeah.
So, isn't it? It's been a tagline from day one that the Force is always with everyone. It's always with you. So I don't know why people are upset.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it just boils back down to Kanan and Ezra not even mentioning it to Sabine at all in Rebels. I really think that's what it has to do with. And, again, I mean, George said it's, and they even said, they even said it in Rebels several times that the Force is in all living things. We heard Kenobi say it a couple of different times to Luke in different ways. And, I don't know. I mean, the midichlorian thing is what kind of messes everything up. If that's what judges how strong you can be with the Force, it's just really interesting that we really have never heard of anything with midichlorians since Phantom Menace. It's really strange that whole part of it that George ended up.
Can I get midichlorian implants? Can I become? Can I go down to the dark sewers of the city and get implants?
Yeah, it's really an odd thing that he decided to do. You should have just kept it more of a like you said, it's in all living things, and you keep it like that, and basically, it's the way I like to think of it is think of Michael Jordan, right? Everyone can play basketball. But honestly, it kind of just boils down to talent. If I went out and practiced every single day, I'm never going to have the skills that Michael Jordan had. I was never going to be able to jump that far. I'm only 6 feet. He's 6'6". I mean, it's a huge difference, in just your ability. And maybe I could play basketball, but am I going to be as good as Michael Jordan? No, because Michael Jordan had, the midichlorian count or the talent. So that's the kind of way I look at it, I guess, where everyone could
but we're in a place now with World Between Worlds, and Michael Jordan went to a different world, and Bugs Bunny was better than him. So
Bugs Bunny was there.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the kind of way I look at it, to make a little bit more sense in our world and, how we live and everything. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I mean, now we're starting to go down a totally different rabbit hole than Ahsoka, but, but I get it. I understand why people are upset with it. I personally don't think, I mean, I personally still don't think that she's going to be force sensitive. I think that, I think that's one thing to become force sensitive is another thing to be able to like handle yourself with a lightsaber. I'd like that aspect of the show. I don't want her to be force sensitive. I just want her to be able to fight with a lightsaber. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's a sword. Think of it as a sword, So I have no problem with that part of it. I still think though, once they get to a new galaxy, I think she's going to hone into something in that galaxy that will make her stronger. If she comes back to life, of course, if she dies, but we'll see. I don't know. Last check on the poll here before we get out of here. So we have, it looks like 50% of people believe that will be Shinhati will die tonight. 33% say it's Marak, and then 17% say it's Ahsoka. And I'm going on record saying that I think at least 2 out of the 4, if not all 4, die. And again, I don't think they'll be dead forever. The only one I can really see that if they die tonight, I don't think they're coming back is Merrick. That's the only one I would say that's not going to come back if that person, if he dies or she dies or whoever it is, or the smoke monster, from Lost, and then I get to make a video of who did it better, the smoke monster from Lost or the smoke monster from Merrick, so that'll be a fun video to make. Who did it better? So you saw Lost, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. We are 51 minutes away from Ahsoka episode 4. We'll be back Thursday breaking this all down for you guys. We're actually going to move it to 7:30 just because I know the NFL season starts. And I know, it's – I just don't want to go live and when I know a lot of people like to watch football. And, I mean, I like to watch it, so I get it. So we're going to move them until 7:30 for the rest of the season. And then we'll be back at my regular Sunday time at 7 p.m. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Don't forget, Horsemen are on at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. And, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. For Ryan, I am Headless. We appreciate you guys. Also, don't forget, check out Patreon. The next Patreon hangout is going to be September 22nd. I have a very special giveaway for Patreon members or channel members. So you can also be a channel member and you'll also get invited to the Patreon hangouts. So just check that out if it interests you. And we will see you guys in the next video. And like always, don't forget, stay milky, keep those heads on, and enjoy the Ahsoka episode 4 tonight. See you guys.